Well, good evening everybody, and a very warm welcome to Philbert Flies. This evening we are flying all the way from Kushiro to Tokyo Haneda in Japan. We're going to be having a look at the new Japan World update that Asobo and Microsoft released today. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that the aeroplane keeps going, because there have been some bugs reported. I've left it on stand, and so far the electronics are still going, the screens are still working. So let's start getting set up. So as per usual, I'm using FS2 Crew's Flight Crew A320.
Let's start setting up, shall we?
And I'm using FS2 Crew's Pushback Express. Now we're not using the A320 NEO mod this evening because it's not compatible with the latest update. But I'm sure that the team developing it will have an updated version ready for us very soon. Now the weather is pretty grim here in Kushiro, and it's not significantly better in Tokyo. And I ummed and ahed about maybe not using live weather for once, but I thought no, we've got a whole lifetime to look around Japan in this sim. And yeah, and I like flying in real weather because it provides an additional level of challenge. Now then, can I remember how to work the stock A320 as opposed to the modified one? Should be able to. It should be, if anything, easier. So we don't have to align the ideas. We don't have to worry about the seatbelt or the no smoking sign because they're inoperative. We can start the APU, and we won't get anything down here, so we'll just press start and assume that the flap's open. So our scheduled time of departure is 13:35 local, which is 04:35 Zulu, so we're scheduled to be off in about just under 15 minutes time. But I'll fast forward some of the pre-flight events so that we have some hope of making that.
The security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes,
you can start boarding.
Yes, get boarding. Why not? Right. Let's have a look at our MCDU. That's something else that this update has supposedly broken, but so far from the few bits I've looked at, seems to be alright. So we're using a cost index of 20. I've planned the flight using SimBrief and imported it into the InSim flight planner, so that should all be populated here. We'll check our departures and arrivals. So we are going to be following the Tancho 1 departure off runway 35 here at Haneda. What am I talking about? Where are we? Kushiro, here at Kushiro. And on arrival we're expecting one of the northerly runways, probably 34 right, but we'll leave that for now. I'll just check that the star is right. So that's Godi 1 Charlie. Is that what I have planned? Yes it is. Yes it is. So good. So far so good. We'll check our takeoff performance. Transition altitude. Let's have a look on the chart and see if I can find it. It's flight level 1, that's transition level. What's transition altitude? Should be on the SID, I would have thought. Yeah, 14,000 feet. And we're going to have a 1,500 foot thrust reduction altitude and a 3,000 foot acceleration altitude, which is fairly typical. Depends on the airport and the airline SOPs, but it's good enough for us here. And we're going to be using a flex takeoff temperature of 59. Double check our init B page. That all looks good. Fuel is correct, zero fuel weight is correct, and zero fuel weight center of gravity is correct. Has the APU come online? Yes it has, so we'll turn on the APU bleed. Kushiro is in the northeast of Japan, Jerky. I want to be able to tell you the name of the island, but I can't remember. So yeah, we're basically flying south-southwest down to Tokyo today. So have any of you had a chance to look at the new Japan add-on yet? Or is this going to be your first sight of it? I haven't myself. This is the first I've seen, and the immersion's rather spoilt by the EasyJet A320 over there. But but never mind. Right. Set our. I don't even know if they use inches of mercury or hectopascals here. Interesting. But we'll set that to 29991, which is the in-sim pressure. The flight today, Science Guy, welcome back, nice to see you, is it's about an hour and a half. It's scheduled for an hour and 45 minutes, but most airliners do it in slightly under that. Right, I think now would be a good time to get started with our before start checklist.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On and auto.
ADIRS.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
Set.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Baro ref.
1013 set.
1013 set. Down to the line.
Hello, Shark Gamer, and Harry, I haven't said hello to you either. Oh, you'll be back soon. Okay. Well, if you watch it back, you'll see I said hello to you in the end. It's really nice to see you coming back for more, all of you whose names I recognise. How are we doing for time? Can we reset this? No, we can't. So it is 0427, and we want to be going at 0435. Okay, let's fast forward the pre-flight events a little bit in Flight Crew A320.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thanks.
No problem, have a safe flight.
So we've got our load sheet, the passengers are boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight today. As you locate your assigned seats, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartments. If you need assistance, contact the flight attendants. If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also review the safety instruction in your seat pocket. If you're seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Yep.
Thanks. Let me know if you
Absolutely.
need anything.
Right, so I'm using Pilot to ATC, which didn't work terribly well yesterday. We'll see if it's in a better mood today. What's our call sign? All Nippon 742, and we're asking for our clearance. All Nippon 742, ready to copy IFR clearance.
All Nippon 742 is clear to Romeo Juliet Tango Tango. Klimt via de TANCH1 departure, with the IUDOH transition, then Asfield. Expect departure run by 35. Climb to flight level 160 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 5542.
All Nippon 742 is cleared to Romeo Juliet Tango Tango. Climb via the TANCH1 departure, with the UDO transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level 160 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 5542.
All Nippon 742 read back correct. QNH is 1013, let US know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH is 1013, all Nippon 742.
Yeah, sorry, Shark Gamer, I did answer you. Can everyone hear me okay? It's scheduled for 1:45, and but usually done in just over an hour and a half. So that new voice on the radio there was one of the new Microsoft voices I downloaded for Pilot to ATC, and it's a Dutch voice, which, depending on what she's saying, is either totally unintelligible or sounds like a Dutch person speaking English with a slight accent. This was definitely on the unintelligible side of things. Right. Oh, I've got too many windows open. Okay, so we'll complete the pre-flight events. That should mean that the door is closed and the jetway is disconnected, which it is. We'll turn on our beacon and we'll do the before start checklist below the line.
Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Before start checklist complete.
And now we have to ask for pushback and startup. Bear with me while I look at my cheat sheet to remember what to say. All Nippon 742 ready for pushback and engine start.
All Nippon 742 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. All Nippon 742.
Yeah, I know, Shark Gamer. That does destroy the illusion of being in Japan a little bit, doesn't it?
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, fly deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brake, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
So I have guessed, well, I haven't quite guessed the distance in, what's it called, Pushback Express. I measured it on Google Maps using the satellite view, so I'm hoping we'll get a vaguely accurate pushback. But it is still a bit of a guessing game. I think I set it to 157 meters, something like that, so we'll see how accurate I was. Yeah, there it is. EasyJet long haul.
You are clear behind and you can start your engine at your discretion.
Excellent.
Starting engine 1.
And while we're doing that, I'll just plug in the V-speeds to Flight Crew A320, which I always forget to do. 132, 137, and 139. And we'll monitor our engine once starting. So I don't like to say too much too soon, but everything so far seems to be going alright with this aircraft. Other people have said that the MCDU is just blank, or the screens don't come on, or the screens go off randomly. And that may still happen, in which case we'll come back and do this flight another day, but for now, I'm optimistic.
Starting engine 2.
So I think I've overestimated the pushback distance, so I'll use the aileron
Again, ladies and gentlemen,
trick to
welcome
get it
on
to
board
turn.
today. This is your purser speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for important safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on board this aircraft. Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew instructions, the lighted information signs and posted plaques.
Pushback complete. Set parking brake, please.
By inserting the metal tip
Parking brake set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is connected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the right side with the pin.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks, have a good flight. See you later.
Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped
Yeah,
with
I know what you
a
mean, Jerky
sign.
Swiner. It's
Locate the
it
nearest
is a whole different ball
exit
game, isn't it, to
view.
anything
Note
that's
that
come
the
before
nearest
it.
exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is
No, we have actually pushed back in the wrong direction. I thought I'd got the hang of where the left means tail left or nose left, but obviously I haven't, so we'll spin it around and taxi in the opposite direction down to 3.5. So our engines are both started, so we'll put the engine mode selector back to normal, and we can turn off the APU. We'll turn on the taxi light while we're up here.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Set.
ECAM status.
That's the point. It shouldn't ice up, but this aircraft loves to ice up, so we'll put all the anti-ice on.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
26% set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or in the lavatory.
Okay, and now we need to request our taxi clearance. Everything is done by tower here. Clearance, ground services, and your typical tower stuff. All Nippon 742 request taxi to runway 34.
All Nippon 742 taxi to runway 35 via taxiway. Is Papa 2, Papa 3, Papa 4, Papa 5, Papa 6, Tango 7, hold short runway 35.
And this is one of the great things about Pilot to ATC, looking at the charts. I can follow those exact instructions. It's a straight line here, so it's very easy, but that is what the taxiways are called.
Tango 7, hold
Flight
short
control
runway
check.
35 all Nippon
Full up.
742.
Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
And we'll start taxiing while the co-pilot does his flight control checks. Hello Mossy, how are you? Welcome. I've pushed back in the wrong direction again, Mossy. We're going to have to spin it around. I was so sure I'd got the hang of it from my flight earlier today, but no. So I took a little spin from Bristol down to Gibraltar earlier, just by myself, just to sort of rebuild my confidence that I can land this aircraft after yesterday's debacle. And it's a tricky approach, but it went pretty well. Having said that, of course, I'll totally mess up the landing today.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1, 132, VR, 137, V2, 139.
V1, 132, VR, 137, V2, 139, ATC.
I've just remembered that only with the A320 mod do you get accurate V speeds before you start moving and set the flaps. So I'll just adjust those in the settings again, and we'll have another look at that in a second. So we're now 138, 143, 145. 138, 143, 145. It's alright, my co-pilot's looking where we're going. Let's start that checklist again.
Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1, 138, VR, 143, V2, 145.
V1, 138, VR, 143, V2, 145, ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Take off no blue.
Down to the line.
And of course, this being the default A310T, we do not have an ECAM memo either. I haven't flown this aircraft without the mod since the mod was first released. So we'll see how it goes.
All Nippon 742 advise when ready for departure.
Wilco All Nippon 742.
So because we only have a tower controller here, of course there's no frequency change, hence asking us to let her know when we're ready. So we'll stop at the whole short line and give her a call. All Nippon 742 ready for departure, runway 34.
All Nippon 742 winds are cleared for takeoff, runway 35.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 35 All Nippon 742.
Oops, I said 34, didn't I? Right, so we're cleared for takeoff, so we'll turn our lights on and we'll call for the before check takeoff checklist below the line.
Below the line.
Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff. Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Packs.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
I think the default A320 definitely takes more power to get it moving. And as usual, as we're lining up with the runway, I thought I'd take this opportunity to firstly thank you all for being here, and secondly to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There'll be plenty more where this came from. Hello Mike, I did have the new modded A320 NEO, but unfortunately the update to the sim broke it, so I'm back to the default for the first time in a good few weeks.
Ready?
Ready.
Takeoff.
Thrust levers to about 50%, engine stable, and up to the flex detent.
Manflex, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue.
Check. Thrust set. (100 knots).
Check.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
And
Gear
with
up.
this departure we make a left turn straight away to join a southerly heading. And once the flight director decides it doesn't want me to pitch the nose down,
All Nippon 742
I will
contact Tokyo Center on 127
turn the autopilot on.
Have a good afternoon.
Center on 127.5 All Nippon 742. Center All Nippon 742 climbing to flight level 160.
So we've reached our acceleration
All Nippon
altitude, so I will
742
pitch
good
down now.
afternoon. Radar contact.
Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Right, let's give the autopilot a chance.
All Nippon
see if it tries to
742
kill us
climb
or
and
not.
maintain flight level 160.
Climb and maintain flight level 160 All Nippon 742.
Good, well, the aeroplane didn't try and kill us today, so far, even though it's the default, so that's good. Have I done the landing challenges, Science Guide? I've done a few of them, yeah. Are there new ones included in the Japan version? Japan, the update, I should say, rather than version. Oh, it's thinking about trying to kill us, isn't it?
All Nippon 742 you are off course. Turn right heading 233 to return to course.
Heading 233 all Nippon 742.
We're not really off course. It's just not true. Oh, I missed the mod. The autopilot is throwing the plane all over the place at the moment. Pitching up and down. I just want to check, can you all hear me okay? My microphone was playing up a little bit earlier. Is it loud enough?
After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
On.
Down to the line.
Thanks, Senna. It's very nice of you to say so. And it's my pleasure. I enjoy making
All
them.
Nippon 742
good. I'm glad you
climb
can
to
hear me.
flight level 160.
Expedite climb to flight level 160 all Nippon 742.
Yes, why are we climbing at a snail's pace? What's going on? Go up quicker, please. Does the expedite button work? No. You get so used to the mod that it's quite a shock coming back to the vanilla version of the plane. Well, anyway, we're airborne. It wasn't a bad takeoff. We're still alive. The aeroplane hasn't broken. So I count that as everything going well. Will Asobo release liveries? I think they want to. I definitely saw them in one of the pre-release videos saying that they have been in touch with basically every airline in the world to try and get the rights to their liveries. And they've had a few replies, but they haven't had a great deal of success. I guess because airlines have big fish to fry at the moment.
742 climb and maintain flight level 160.
Climb and maintain flight level 160 all Nippon.
But obviously, if you're going to be releasing liveries as a commercial developer, it's a very different thing to people doing freeware liveries. There are legal implications, so they have to have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. So we're approaching UDOM, which is our first, it's our first and only waypoint on the standard instrument departure. And then we'll be on to the flight plan proper. I've heard, Mossy, that some of the original liveries from the Mega Pack, some of the earlier ones, don't work anymore. And that was even before this update with the latest version of the A320 NEO mod, apparently. Although I didn't have any trouble with them. So you need to download the newer versions from the drag and drop version
All Nippon 742
of the Mega Pack.
climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb and maintain flight level 220 all Nippon 742.
So I've gone from having all of the liveries installed to just having 3 or 4. I've got EasyJet BA, Japan Airlines and All Nippon. And it's quite refreshing not to have to scroll through them all. I didn't actually have to reinstall them after the update, Mbek Mum. They just worked out the box. But it's probably again something to do with the version of the livery that you're using. Right, so did we even finish our after takeoff climb checklist, or did I get distracted by chatting to you lot? I can't remember. Yeah, we did. We got down to the line. We've passed our transition altitude, so we will set standard pressure.
Set standard.
Standard, cross-checked, passing flight level 182.
Yeah, that could be it.
Now,
check. Below the line.
Barrow ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff checklist complete.
I don't know, Science Guy. I haven't flown the 747 since day one. I just didn't get on with it. It doesn't work properly, so it's not for me. I hope it does in the end though, because it's a lovely aeroplane. I used to fly PMDG 744 a lot in prepared.
All Nippon 742 resume navigation.
Resume navigation all Nippon 742.
It's weird, these Microsoft text-to-speech voices. Why would one of them pronounce resume as resume, and the other one would
All
pronounce it as
Nippon
resume?
742 climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 all Nippon 742.
I don't know, Shark Gamer. I assume there must be a way of doing it, because the more complex aircraft, there's just no way you could fly them if you couldn't click the buttons. But I've never used an Xbox, so I don't know how these things tend to work. No, you don't need a microphone for FS2 crew. In fact, you can't control it by voice at all at the moment. It's all button controlled. Their previous products did have a voice control option.
Contact Tokyo Center
And I might be wrong, but I think they are bringing voice control to this. The only thing you absolutely do need a microphone for is pilot to ATC, which you can only really control with your voice.
Center all Nippon 742 climbing to flight level 300.
All Nippon 742 good afternoon. Radar contact.
No problem at all. So what I'm doing, I've got keyboard assignments for the main button and the secondary button. And really I'm just pressing those repeatedly to work through the checklists. You can also click on the window if you choose to do it that way. You and me both, Shark Gamer. I would love a 777. It's one of the strange things about coming from an older sim which has all of these fantastic payware aircraft. So I had the 777, the 747, the 737, a really good FS Labs A320. And sometimes I miss it because this sim is, you know, the default A320 is not a patch. And then I try and go back and I'll have a little flight in P3D and I just don't like it because it looks so ugly in comparison. But I think payware airliners are still quite a long way off, sadly. Well, isn't Japan lovely? Haven't they done a good job? We're actually just crossing over some water at the moment. Hopefully the other side, when we get to the main island, is it Honshu, the main island, I think? Hopefully the weather will have cleared a little bit. Oh, I never had the Dash 8. I was very, very tempted, but I never took the plunge for some reason. But I've heard good things. That was the one that was one of the first to have shared cockpit, wasn't it? Yeah, an A380 would be brilliant as well. We've never had an A380 in any flight simulator as far as I'm aware. Not a decent one anyway. So flight level 300 is our planned cruising altitude today. And as you can see, we are approaching it now. Do you still fly P3D MBEC Mom, or have you switched wholesale to Microsoft Flight Simulator as well? Oh, that's interesting. I'm in drone mode. Good evening, Pablo. Welcome. How are you? I'm in drone mode, but for some reason I can't control the drone. It's controlling the aircraft because I use the joystick for both. But before the update, I was able to move the drone around when I was in drone mode and not control the aircraft. And I was able to do it on the ground as well, wasn't I? But now I want to move the drone left and it just rolls left. That's weird. What was your Y in relation to what the musty? Well, we'll use this view instead, that'll do. No, you can't use the joystick as a mouse. You can use the. I think you can use the mouse as a joystick, so you can control the plane with the mouse. Oh, I don't know, John. I'll give it a go. So this is drone mode. Press C. Oh, you genius! I have never had to do that before. Is that something you've always had to do, or is it part of the update? That's a nice view, isn't it? Well, I never. So I've never had to do that. I've just gone into drone mode and haven't been able to control the aircraft. I've only been able to control the drone. Which is odd, isn't it? Anyway, I'm pleased it's working as it's supposed to now. It's a useful little feature. Oh, sorry, lots of questions all of a sudden. Andrew, how many minutes for landing? I'd say we've got about another hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes left. In fact, Pilot 282C should be able to give me an accurate estimate. I'll check for you. Pilot 280C is deciding to completely redraw itself and is no longer responding. It's a shame. Yeah, it should be round about. Oh, we're cruising very slowly actually. Again, back to the default. It doesn't quite behave as it should. Let's go into selected Mac mode and wind. That's not changing at all. Oh yes it is. We'll go up to 0.78 Mach. That's a better cruise speed than 0.73. Shark Gamer, can you assign the arrow keys to move around the cockpit? Yes you can. Pizza Monster, hello, welcome. No, the A320 NEO project is not working with the new patch at the moment, so this is the default A320 NEO that we're flying at the moment. Craig, yeah. So it's not the mod that's broken. It's the sim that's been updated and no longer works with the mod. I was using 0.3.0 earlier today and it was brilliant, but I only had one flight and then all of a sudden the update was there. So yeah, they'll fix it again. They're very very quick. They were last time there was a patch and it broke the aircraft. So I would. Optimistically, I'd like to say by tomorrow we'll have it working again. So we should be at our destination in an hour and 5 minutes exactly, according to Pilot to ATC. Well, you can't... Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it, Craig? They really... I do think if they're going to break things, and that mod is not the only thing they've broken, they should either delay the release of the patch, or give us the option to roll it back to the previous version if it doesn't work. That's my view. Shark Gamer, all of the add-ons that I've bought, which to be fair have mostly been sceneries, but also things like Flight Crew A320 and Pushback Express, all of those continue to work and have done through all the versions. So it's only the freeware stuff that's been broken as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I'm afraid I am Pizza Monster. And from what I've been reading on the Discord and on the official forums, there's a known issue with this patch that even with the default A320, the screens just go black at random. Now, why would you release a patch that breaks an aircraft to that extent? I can only think it's very rare. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's very rare. Hasn't happened yet in this flight. No, they were all still lit. But yeah, I'm a little bit on edge that we might be on final or something and everything will go black. No problem, Mossy. You go and enjoy your evening. And yeah, see you soon. Have fun. Also, get your fiancé to like and subscribe to the channel if you would. Ah, yes, I did see something about. I saw a recommendation to turn AI traffic off. Yeah, I dread to think what's ahead of us when we get to Tokyo, to be honest. It could be another shared passion, Mossy, watching my streams. She'll love it. Oh, really? Just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I'm no programmer, but why should AI traffic have any effect on switches in your aircraft? Very odd. That would be quite a coup if they had. Did Austin Myers start that particular rumour, do you think? Oh, blimey, Pablo, that's scary to read. We'll see what happens. And do you know what? This flight could end in absolute disaster and carnage, but it will be fixed, and in the meantime I might do a few more VFR streams in the Cessna. I don't actually have a webcam, Harry. I don't have one. And what was that ding? Something exciting happened, didn't it? Harry PLSPDFR, thank you very much for oh, it's you, Harry. It's Harry on. Oh, yes. Hello. You're confusing me being in two places at once. Yes. Right, what was I saying? Face camera. Yeah, I don't have a webcam. and I do think that the sight of my beautiful face might distract people from the beautiful sim. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can mod you, and I don't know how to do that. Hang on, I'll have a little look.
Fast with the playlists at the moment, because it
No, quite quite the opposite, Mbek Mom. Just a very distracting, a face that is so beautiful. It's too distracting and you wouldn't be able to enjoy the flying. I'm from London in the UK, Pizza Monster. Okay, I'm having a look, Harry. Ah, whereabouts, Pizza Monster? Okay, I've modded you, Harry. I don't know what that involves, really.
All
But,
Nippon
I've done it.
742 contact Tokyo Center on 124.5. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 124.5 All Nippon 742. Center All Nippon 742 at flight level 300.
All Nippon 742 good afternoon. Radar contact.
Oh, okay, right. That's useful. I was expecting a lot more of that. I was expecting a lot more people turning up and being rude, and I haven't had it. So, yeah. In fact, I think I've had one person come and spam a link to their channel on my stream, but. So far so good. No, I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't really see the point of getting a webcam and showing my face, in all seriousness. I sit here with my headset on and my Track IR hat, and I want people to look at the sim. I don't feel the need to show myself. Oh, I know Oakwood. Yeah, I know it well. I grew up in Wood Green, so not far away. I live northeast London now, and I know Hendon as well. I suppose there's also a part of me that likes to keep my virtual flying and my real life a bit separate, and I guess having a webcam would blur the boundary of that a little bit. What I was really hoping for is that someone from Japan might join this stream, a flight sim nut from Japan who could tell us a little bit about the place we took off from. Can't even remember the name. Kushiro. Yeah, that would have been nice. But it's lovely to have fellow Londoners here as well. I'm not detracting from your importance by saying that. So you may have noticed from the fact that Harry started following me that I've managed to set up Streamlabs to actually show notifications if people follow or subscribe or donate, which I've seen on other channels and I had no idea how to do it, so I spent a good hour on that yesterday. So if anyone would like to subscribe or donate or follow me live, you will see your name flash up and a little sound will play, and I will say thank you very much. Okay, yeah, my parents have friends in Shrewsbury. They moved there from Tottenham. Got happy memories of going up and staying with them when I was younger. And visiting the Long Mynd. That was always a happy time, splashing about in the stream there, looking at the sheep. I know that's a little way from Shrewsbury, but still. Can I turn off the music? Yeah, if you want. I normally put the music on when I'm doing a longer flight and I'm stepping away for a bit. But yeah, I quite like it. But yes, there we are. No more music. No problem, Harry. No problem. It'd be really nice if the weather cleared up a little bit, wouldn't it? I used SimBrief today. I always use SimBrief for every IFR flight plan. I was also using the Navigraph Beta AirRack data, but I deleted that because I had some issues with an approach into Gibraltar earlier on. Don't know if it was related, but I thought for this stream, let's keep things as default as possible. Yeah, see, I can't. Right. You like. So that's 2 votes for the music and 1 against. I can't please everyone. I tell you what we'll do. We'll leave the music off for another 5 minutes, and then I'll put it back on. I'll put it on slightly slightly quieter. Who's the Scot, Pablo? Sorry, I did see you said Scots don't mess about before. Are you Scottish, are you? No, I know where you're from. You're not from Scotland. We've spoken before, haven't we? Maybe it was a different Pablo. I tell you what we'll do. I really like that playlist, but I do play it quite a lot. I did have some blues somewhere. Yeah, let's have a little bit of blues, a little bit of quiet blues. No, not this. This is not what I thought it was. Oh, is Harry Scottish? I must have missed that. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. Scrolled up. It's very easy to miss messages on this thing. Oh, I don't know. Dual weights for fuel and zero fuel weight. How do you mean? How do you mean? No, this is a playlist on Epidemic Sound, which is a royalty-free music library. Because you can't broadcast just anything without getting into trouble. This is someone called Bo the Drifter, if you want to look him up. Talk me through these dual weights. Sorry, it's a bit of a delay. Zero fuel weight is in kilograms, but when loading fuel it seems to be pounds. Yes, yeah, that's always been the case with this A320 as far as I'm aware. So what I do, I take the weights I take the zero fuel weight from SimBrief, convert it into pounds and load the fuel in the flight planning page in the sim, and then I do the same with the takeoff weight and fiddle with the sliders until I get them roughly to match. But I hope they do add multiple units throughout, because I believe that you know, in the States you get A320s that are in pounds, just like in Europe. We should be able to add fuel in kilos. A little bit bumpy here, isn't it? If we had a working seatbelt sign, I would turn it on. Actually, we can probably ask ATC if we can climb a bit higher and see if it's smoother. How far have we got to go? Top of descent in 20 minutes. Yeah, it's probably worth it for that, isn't it? All Nippon 742 request climb to flight level 340.
All Nippon 742 climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340, all Nippon 742.
Oh, thanks, Pablo. It's a nice vote of confidence. I might do more tutorials, but there are so many out there already. You know, that you've got real A320 pilots showing you how to fly the A320 realistically. You've got people who have been simming for years who have covered sort of your basic, you know, takeoff, your cruise, your descent, your flying a circuit, that sort of thing. So I tend to I spotted a niche with SimBrief flight planning, and I spotted a gap with using Pilot to ATC, because all of the tutorials that existed for that were really quite long-winded and detailed, and I thought, yeah, there's it'd be worth doing a quick and easy 8-minute getting started guide. But is there anything in particular you'd like a tutorial on? Anything you can think of that isn't out there already?
We request that you keep the aisles clear to assist the flight attendants to serve you efficiently and also for your own safety. Thank you.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs.
Yeah, I don't really want music with lyrics. This was the wrong playlist. I mean, pretty good, but not quite right for this. We'll have a little bit of Trevor Kowalski. That climb was well worth it, wasn't it? Bit of blue sky at last. Work out what this weird grey-blue line is at the bottom of what you're seeing. I'm not seeing it on my sim. I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. Hello, Distortion. Welcome to the stream. Has it? I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Because I was still held off from buying the Rex Weather Force add-on in the hope that they would fix the live weather. ETA is, bear with me, 42 minutes from now. And it seems like as good a time as any to look up the METAR for Haneda. Oh, it's improved a lot. So we'll see how accurate the live weather is. It was overcast earlier on, I think 3,000 feet. And now it's clear and visibility okay. Quite a bit cooler though than it was when we set off. 18 degrees. Yeah, that's true, John. At the same time, I have read at people saying that they have done other updates behind the scenes in between patches and performance has got better and this and that has improved, so we can but hope. Yeah, so I'm using an add-on program called Pilot to ATC Distortion, which is it's quite a lot better than the default ATC. So yeah, I'll be using that. Indeed, indeed. The patch notes need patching. The patch needs patching. I'm so thankful for Flybywire, because if it wasn't for them, we'd end up having basically an A320 that we couldn't use for a month while they sorted things out, I think. Yeah, I've heard other people saying that, Pizza Monster. I can't explain it. This is a weird sim. You know, what works for one person doesn't work for another. So you can't. So are you saying that if you go to the flight planning screen and plan a flight from there, you can't even do that? Or I suppose you can do that, but it won't transfer to the MCDU? Or do you mean you just can't type a flight plan in? Okay, so we are about 10 minutes from our top of descent point, so I think now will be a good time to start setting up for the arrival.
You have control.
I have control.
So as I said earlier, we're planning... Well, let me just double check the winds haven't changed. I didn't look at that. 36011, no, that's fine. So we were planning on a 3-4 right ILS approach. And there's no reason why we should change that, so we'll set that up in the arrival. So many approaches. Right, ILS 34 Yankee. And we want the Godi 1 Charlie. What's the aircraft doing? just banking around. Oh, I'd forgotten this. Little bug. Seems to have sorted itself out now. Oh, that's so frustrating, Pizza Monster. I feel for you. Honestly, with the last patch, when the engine 1 bug appeared where it would just shut down unless you left the APU on, I was quite upset about that. I did a fair bit of ranting on the forums, which is not like me. I'm normally fairly positive and try and see the best in what this sim offers, but why are we overspeeding? Why? Maybe I accidentally twiddled the knob, I don't know. Sorry, I missed your message, Distortion. Can you ask the ATC with Pilot to ATC for the approach? Yes, so you've got options with Pilot to ATC. You can either just let them assign you an approach, or you can put in a preferred approach and they will change it if the weather changes. So I have asked them for the 3-4 right, which I think is fairly realistic. You'd normally plan for the expected approach based on the forecast, and hopefully they'll give it to us. Right, what was I doing? Oh yes, I was making sure the plane was not going to do anything crazy, and now I will finish programming our arrival. Don't know about that via point. Let me just check the chart. I was expecting vectors. Yeah, I can't see Kaiho at all. So I might change that, get rid of that.
All Nippon 742 expect the GODI-1 Charlie arrival with the God in transition for the ILS approach to runway 34 right at Tokyo Haneda International after TDX cleared direct God in.
Expect the Godi 1 Charlie arrival with the Godin transition for the ILS approach to runway 34 right after TDIX cleared direct Godin All Nippon 742.
So that's the sort of thing Pilot AC does. It gives you useful instructions about what to expect just as you're setting up for the approach. How much does it cost? I think it's 45, no, a bit more, hang on. It's not cheap. Let me just double check on their site, I'll Google it for you. It is $59.95 US, but there's a 10-day free trial, so you can see what you think of it. It's a little bit complicated, it's got quite an overwhelming interface, but some incredibly clever bloke did a 8-minute tutorial video for getting started, so I recommend looking at my channel for that.
Center on 118.9.
Hello, Moshe.
742.
Are you waiting for the Xbox One version, are you? Cool. I hope you don't have to wait too much longer.
Center all Nippon 742
right, let me just change this. ILS 34, right.
All Nippon 742, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Right, let's try that. And so we need to do our perf page. And we'll put in the information from the meta. So QNH is 1008. Temperature, I just said it and I've forgotten already, 18. And the wind is 36011. And I'll look at the chart for the transition altitude. I will answer your questions, I'm just going to get this done, otherwise I'll get in a muddle. Transition altitude by ATC. We're going to put in 14,000 for now, flight level 140. And for the Yankee approach to 34 right, the MDA is 220. I'll check that our RadNav page has the frequency in. Yes, it does. 108.9, 108.9. Good. So we're ready for our approach.
I have control.
You have control.
Right. Xbox One. Can you fly to Israel? Yes, you absolutely can fly to Israel, Moshe. Yeah, you can fly anywhere in the world in this. In fact, there was a bloke who released Tel Aviv Ben Gurion for Prepared, which is an older simulator if you haven't heard of it, fairly recently. So you may even, at some point, end up with a decent add-on scenery for Israel.
All Nippon 742 descend to cross Godin at flight level 150, then descend via the GODI 1 Charlie arrival with the Godin transition to 1,500 feet. QNH is 1007 at Tokyo Haneda International.
We'll cross Godin at flight level 150, then descend via the Godi 1 Charlie arrival with the Godin transition to 1,500 feet. QNH is 1007 All Nippon 742.
No, this isn't on Spotify Flight Studio. This is on Epidemic Sounds, which is a royalty-free site. Oh, good, good. I'm glad you found it useful, John, and thank you for the subscription. So we want to be crossing Godin at 50. Oh, it's just decided to descend on its own, very, very fast. Let's use a little bit of vertical speed to manage our descent here. Of course, in a real A320. It would be able to calculate a descent rate to get us past Godin at 15,000 exactly, but this one won't do it. It's a little bit Christmassy, this one, isn't it, actually? So yeah, this is Trevor Kowalski we're listening to at the moment. And I think we'll fade the music out so that we can concentrate on our descent and arrival. I don't know why I'm putting the constraint mode on, it never shows anything sensible, but I'm used to doing it in the FS lab, so I still do it. So we want to be 15,000 feet at Godin. I don't suppose they've fixed this, have they? Let's try. Let's just try putting 15,000 in there. No, it doesn't work. For me, the update was pretty quick, Flight Studio. So you have to update the program itself first of all from the Microsoft Store or Steam, and that's only a few minutes. And then the main update's about 8 gigabytes, and it was done for me in about 20 minutes, something like that. No worries, Distortion. Nice to see you. Hope to see you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. So I'm going to bring up the the RNAV arrival chart on my iPad. So, and she gave us clearance, I believe, to, well, pass Godin at 15,000 and then descend to 1,500 feet via the arrival, which again, in a proper simulation of the A320 would be a piece of cake, but it isn't here. So, I'm going to look at my chart and do the best I can. Thanks for the sub, Distortion. Are you ever thinking about doing a group flight? Yes, I am. I thought... I haven't said anything about this, but I thought in the back of my mind, perhaps when I pass 500 subscribers, I'll try and organise a group flight, and we'll do a little tour in the light aircraft. It might be quite fun. Perhaps the next leg of my Bimbles Around Britain series, wherever I'm at that point. But yeah, we'll go somewhere fun and fly about. I don't understand the first part of your message, I'm afraid, Flight Studio, but no, I'm not a real pilot. I've just been flying in flight simulators for quite a long time. So far, Rory, all I can tell you about the A320 is that the A320 mod doesn't work anymore, and people are reporting the screens going black randomly, and also switches moving of their own accord when you're in an area with a lot of AI traffic. In terms of the flight model, I haven't noticed a big difference, but then I haven't flown the A320 without a mod for a very long time, so there may be more that's happened. Yes, I do live in the UK. Once again, I'm sorry about the weather. I'm sure it's very, very beautiful, all of this new scenery below us. But as I said earlier, I like flying in real-world weather. I like the challenge of it. And we'll have plenty of opportunities to see Japan on a nicer day than this. Yeah, I know, Rory, I'm with you there, but the trouble is, you don't get given a choice. It starts and it forces you to update it. We do not need to be descending anywhere near this fast. As I was saying at the start of the stream, it irritates me that Asobo, or Microsoft I suppose, are forcing these updates on us which break things, and it should really be our choice whether to update or not, if they are going to insist on releasing patches that make planes worse than they were before. Yeah, I would like to do a 787 flight studio. The default 787 is really, really buggy though. I've had a little play with it. I don't like it at all. I don't know if there's been a mod done which makes it fly better. But yeah, there are a few long haul routes that I'd like to do, so I hope it improves, and yeah, one day I'm sure I will.
All Nippon 742 contact Tokyo Center on 124.1. Enjoy your afternoon.
Center on 124.1 All Nippon 742.
Have I got 30 viewers, Harry? That's awesome. I'm only seeing 24 in the restream
Center All
chat,
Nippon
but
742 descending to
yeah, brilliant news.
1,500
Thank you all for
feet.
being here.
All Nippon 742 good afternoon. Radar contact.
$1,500 feet seems very low for the start, doesn't it? Maybe that's all the way down to intercept the localizer. No, we should do that at 4,000 feet. I don't know what she's talking about. No, I don't play Halo Flight Studio, and I haven't heard about Halo Infinite. I must admit, I'm not much of a gamer. This is pretty much all I do on my computer, fun-wise. I've always been into flight simulators and other simulation games. When I was younger, I did play a bit of Call of Duty and a few of the Tom Clancy games and that sort of thing, but I'm absolutely hopeless at them, truth be told, and they drive me mad. So I'm fairly confident Halo would be the same. Look at this! We've got a break in the clouds, we've got some lovely clear skies, and we can actually see a bit of scenery.
Cabin crew, prepare for arrival.
Never forget to let go of your joystick when you're using it to control the drone and switching back to the cockpit view. I'm 36, Harry. How old are you? And again, it's decided to just switch off vertical speed mode and do its own thing. Bring back the mod. Please bring back the mod. Just descend at 1,600 feet per minute, please. No, I haven't tried Prepared V5. I didn't upgrade from 4.5. In fact, before this came out, I was on a bit of a break from simming, so yeah, and prior to that, I was pretty happy with 4.5. Hello, Sergio. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you? You join us at quite an exciting point in the flight because I've heard a lot of reports of all the screens going blank on approach since the last update. So there may be a bit of catastrophe ahead. But so far it's running very smoothly. It's a good sim, Harry. You know, if you want complex airliners and you want to really learn how to fly, then there's probably nothing better out there at the moment. But at the same time, you know, it's old technology, and I think this is the future. I've been back to Prepared V4.5, and yeah, it's great to fly the FS Labs Airbus, but the scenery is not so good, the frame rates aren't as good, and it doesn't give you the same sense of flying in the real world. No, I don't play with failures on Science Guy, no I don't. Right, so our clearance was to pass. Which waypoint at 15,000 feet? Was it Godin? I think so. Yeah. And then when we're at Chips, we should be 13,000 feet or below. Colour, 11,000 feet or below. And then 8,000 feet at Coach and 210 knots. Okay. We've got a bit of time before we need to continue our descent, so let's have a good look around outside. And I will see if I can tell you anything about where we are from the Navigraph map. So over to our right, I mean there aren't any towns directly where we are, but over to our right there's a big city, or what looks like a big city, called Nesushiobara. I think this might be it over here. It looks like an urban area of some sort. Hello Kevin, welcome back. So my specs are, I've got an i7-8700K processor, 32 gigs of RAM and a 1080 Ti graphics card, and I'm running with everything on Ultra. And one day I'd like to be running this in 4K, but for now I'm just super impressed with the performance I can get on a, you know, 3 to 4 year old system. It's incredible. Oh, my cat's just turned up to get in the way, that's nice. We must sort out that flight together, Kevin, at some point. Yeah, I can imagine the amount of work. So yeah, I mean, so far so good though, Sergio. So far so good. And you never know, it might be one of these bugs that only affects a very small proportion of people, and we'll have a beautiful, stable approach and landing. You never know. I live on my own, Flight Studio. Hello, Captain Flight. Nice to see you. I'm really sorry to hear that. I take it you've uninstalled the mod, have you? Because the mod definitely doesn't work in this version. But I have heard that some people are having issues with the screens going blank, even without the mod. How to get MSFS 4K? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think you need a 4K monitor. You need a very powerful graphics card and a decent processor, I imagine. But I may have totally misunderstood. So on our left we will be passing Hitachinaka. In the distance we might even be able to see the coast. Yes, we can. So this urban area around here is, I don't know, it's never clear on Navigraph charts what the name of the city is. I'm going to say it's either Naka, Hitechinaka, or Mito. Some of those seem to be suburbs, and one of those presumably is the name of the town. Cool, I will speak to you there about it.
All Nippon 742 contact Tokyo Center on 119.35. Enjoy your afternoon.
Center on 119.35. All Nippon 742.
No, I haven't seen the boys on
Center
Amazon.
all Nippon 742 at
Ah, right,
flight
yes, the
level
mod definitely
150.
doesn't work with this update, so try
All
uninstalling
Nippon
it and restarting,
742.
and you
Good
might have more
afternoon.
luck.
Radar contact.
Right, so as we pass Godin, we can descend further because we've been cleared to descend via the arrival. And we may as well go down to 8,000 feet. But we're not in any great rush, so we'll see if the aircraft wants to play ball by following our vertical speed. Doesn't seem to want to do anything, does it? Oh dear. Please, I want you to go down. Of course, the trouble with uninstalling the mod Captain Flight is that you're back to the default, which is just not very good. We'll go down in managed altitude mode then, see if that works. Probably descend faster than we need it to, but so be it. Yeah. 3,200 feet a minute and climbing. Totally unnecessary. Now I've started the descent, perhaps I can modify it. Yeah, I seem to be able to. That's something. Thank you for the sub, Captain Flight. Welcome aboard. And I'm very pleased my notifications are working on Twitch and YouTube. You are my first YouTube subscriber who's got the little animation and the ding. And it's decided it doesn't like the vertical speed I gave it, so it's shooting down at its own rate again. Anyhow, we are below the transition altitude now, so we can set local pressure. And I'll use the B key because it doesn't always match the real world figure. And
1007 set.
1007 set. Passing 1,500.
And because we're just about to pass 10,000 feet, we'll turn the landing lights on.
Check.
Ooh, look at this lighting up ahead. See, there was me complaining about the weather earlier, and it's really quite spectacular here, isn't it? No, I don't know when Stockholm Islander will come out, Kevin. There's a really good version from Orbex in prepared, so I imagine it will happen. I imagine they'll port it across and improve on it, but when, I've no idea. That was one of my favourite airports back in the day. This is Lake Kasumigaura we're flying over at the moment. They only turn the taxi light on when they're given clearance to land. Oh, interesting. I've always just turned it on the ground. Turn the landing lights off, turn the taxi light on. Look at that lighting. This is why I fly Microsoft Flight Simulator. The aircraft drive me mad, the patches break things. The default aircraft are incredibly buggy. But it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
All Nippon 742 contact Tokyo approach on 119.65. Have a nice day.
Approach on 119.65 All Nippon 742.
Managed to sense and altitude constraints work on
Approach all Nippon
0.3.0. Do
742 at
they?
1,000
That is very
feet.
exciting.
All Nippon 742 good afternoon.
I still want
Radar
you to descend
contact.
though.
Continue descent via the GODI-1 Charlie arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 34 right at Tokyo Haneda International.
Continue descent via the GODI-1 Charlie arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 34 right All Nippon 742.
Why won't you descend? There we are. We'll use selected altitude mode. Right, yes, yes, so that's really exciting about the managed descent and altitude constraints. I did one flight, the latest version of the A320 NEO mod, before I had to update and it broke. So that's something to look forward to. No, Pablo, I don't think we know when a Europe update is due. I don't think. I certainly haven't seen anything about it. Plenty of speculation, but not a lot else. So when we reach coach, we should be at 210 knots. But it won't change out of Mac mode. Ah, will it? No. Fine, we'll do it in Mac mode.
Flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll collect any off-service items, newspapers, and
right, let's run our checklist.
Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Baro ref.
1007 set.
1007 set. Minimum. Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
So, who was it? It was Rory. Does that mean that I can put in an altitude and a speed constraint, like, for example, 8,000 feet by coach, which is what I'm trying to do now, and failing miserably at because of the stupid plane, and it'll just fly it? Because that would be fantastic. So after coach, we want to remain at 8,000 feet and 210 knots until eddy. Something weird is happening here. That is not the shape that is on my chart. This bit's right. But this turn here, it still wants to go via Keho, and I don't. I want to go direct from here to intercept the localizer. Oh, that's really exciting. I can't wait till they fix it. Fix the mod, well, not fix the mod, but update the mod to work with this patch. Not tried it, but what if you just did a direct to and the altitude? Don't know. Pass. Great. I've just read your last message, Rory. Good times ahead for the A320 then. So I guess we ought to extend flaps 1. We're below the green dot speed. We do need to be at 210 knots.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked.
Let's do that.
Flaps 1.
And yeah, this is as close as we can get to setting 210 knots, I guess. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, aircraft? I'm glad you found the channel as well, Science Guy. It's always nice to see you on the streams. The German voices in Pilot to ATC, do you mean, Pablo? Hello Woody, welcome to the stream. Join us at a good point. We're just following the standard terminal arrival route to Haneda. Oh, right, aircrew, FSG crew. Yeah, it is. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's, as I say, I've used them for years on various aircraft in different sims. It makes a big difference to the realism. Ooh, bit of thunder. How exciting. Look at that lighting. Look at the clouds. Very atmospheric. Good. I've been speaking to the developer a little bit, and I've told him that some of my viewers have made the purchase. He's very pleased, as am I. Not because I get anything out of it. I just think it's a great product. Right, I'm not entirely sure what our last clearance was, so I'm going to scroll up the text bit of Pilot to ATC. Continue via the arrival for the ILS approach to runway 34 right. Okay, let's turn on our landing system, so hopefully we should pick up the localizer. I wonder if we can delete that erroneous waypoint. I bet we can't in the default. No, we can't. Anyway, we don't want to go via Keho. We want to go from Cream, continue on the same heading of around about 291 and intercept the localizer from there. I'm not sure if that's what Pilot to ATC is expecting, but that's what I'm going to do. What is it giving us for our V approach? Because that certainly on the mod was always a little bit random. Yeah, 160. That seems fast. I'm going to set it to 150 if it'll let me change it. We may have to slow down a bit more. Oh right, yeah. I was a Boeing guy for a very long time. I mostly flew the PMDG 737, but I got into the Airbus as a result of the FS Labs add-on, and that was more or less all I flew because, to my mind at least, it was the best airliner add-on for Prepared and FSX probably. But yeah, this is a very different very different bird. But it's good fun. The learning process is good fun to transition from Boeing to Airbus, and I'm sure you'll get there. I mean, you're going to have to, aren't you? If you want to fly this sim in the next year or so, and you want to fly airliners. I was very disappointed that PMGG have said that their 737 probably won't come out till towards the end of next year. See, you say Airbus are better, Harry, and I sort of agree, but I think that's because most of the 737s I've flown in real life have been Ryanair ones, and that's just never a pleasant experience, whereas with the A320 I've flown in mostly EasyJet or British Airways, and that's a cut above. But to fly, I like them all, really. I like both of them. Do you know, I'm going to see if they'll give us vectors to final. That will solve the problem of this waypoint that I can't get rid of. All Nippon 742 inbound at Cream. Request vectors for ILS Yankee approach to runway 34 right. I bet that's not what I was supposed to say. No, that was too long-winded. Let me look at my cheat sheet again.
All Nippon 742 radar contact. Turn right heading 302 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 34 right at Tokyo Haneda International. Climb and maintain 13,200 feet.
No, I don't want to climb.
Heading 302 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 34 right. Climb and maintain 13,200 feet. All Nippon 742.
All Nippon 742 request descent to 3,000 feet.
All Nippon 742 climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Climb and maintain
no, I'm not climbing. No, I'm not doing it.
Nippon 742.
Sorry. I'm not doing it. Right. Sorry, I've missed quite a few messages here, haven't I?
All Nippon 742 descend and maintain 2,100 feet.
Ah, thank you.
Descent
right,
and
I'll sort this out, and then I'll try and read your messages.
All Nippon 742.
What did she say? Honestly, it's hard reading messages and flying. 2,100, okay. You see, I've scrolled up too far now. Oh, thanks for G'ing everyone up to like and subscribe, Harry. No worries, Lorenzo. Nice to see you. Better late than never. You've made it for the most important part of the flight. And it won't descend. Why won't it descend? Dresser, hello. Welcome. Nice to see you as well. It's supposed to be a bedtime right now, but... oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah, it'll be bedtime for me as well. As soon as we've done this landing.
Turn
not
left
too far
heading
off
302.
now.
Heading 302, all Nippon 742.
Left heading 302, okay. $35 viewers, did we really? Oh yeah, so we have. That's very exciting. Yeah, I'll do my best to butter this one. I'll do my best. But we are half expecting all the screens to go blank on final, so it might be tricky. But as I say, I'll try. Yeah, the default ATC is dreadful for telling you to descend and then, yeah, asking you to climb. Pilot to ATC, I'm not so experienced with. This is the first time I've actually asked them for vectors, I think. And she got the hang of it in the end, asked me to descend. Okay, so this should put us on an intercept course for the localizer. So what we'll do is we will switch over to approach mode. Oh, it's already done it, that's good. I think, let me double check. No, it hasn't. Approach phase activated. We'll give it back control of the speed and see if it does something sensible or something stupid. No, good, it's decelerating. We will arm the speed brake, and we will arm the we'll arm the auto brake, and we'll arm the ground spoilers.
All Nippon 742 turn left heading 277.
Heading 277 all Nippon 742.
She's very specific with her headings, isn't she? Yeah, I have no friends who like planes either, Dresser. Except for you lot, who I found through streaming, so yeah, it's nice to meet some like-minded souls.
2,500.
Yeah, it's true, default ADC in every sim is poor. I feel like this is worse than it was in FSX, but it's a long time since I've used default ATC in FSX, and it's probably just because my expectations were higher. So if she's given me an intercept heading, then we should be okay to intercept the ILS, so I'll keep an eye on this diamond. If we had the mod, I would arm approach mode now, which is more realistic, but because this plane just does weird things, we'll wait a bit longer. Were you there for my where were we? My Orlando landing, Lorenzo? I think you were, weren't you? Yeah, I'll do my best. Surely it can't be worse than that. Yeah, I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten the Sphinx landing. That was a real corker. Yeah, you're right. Once you've landed, well, I say landed in inverted commas. Once you've done that with a plane, the only way is up, really, isn't it, Science Guy? I never found that airport on a map. I never found it. I don't think it exists in real life. So no wonder I couldn't land at it properly. Basically the size of someone's driveway, and for those of you who weren't there, I decided I wouldn't fly all the way back to Cairo Airport, but I'd try and put the Cessna 172 down on that. Didn't go well. Surprise, surprise. Hello, Moss's fiance. I did ask him to get you to subscribe.
All Nippon 742 turn right heading 302.
I'm very pleased you're here.
Heading 302 all Nippon 742.
This is the point my cat decided on the keyboard, of course. Of course it is. Oh, the pressure's really piling on this evening. Unfamiliar airport, cat on my keyboard. Unpleasant reminders of previous failures, and we haven't even even started our final yet. I tell you what, Moss's fiance, I would love it if you did subscribe. I looked at my YouTube stats, and 100% of my viewers are male. I haven't had a single woman, which is a shame. Actually, I did in the early days. There was a period where it was like 99.1% male. But she didn't stick around, whoever she was. It's another little airport down here.
All Nippon 742 turn right heading 307.
Heading 307 all Nippon 742.
I'm going to risk a quick look outside with the drone, because I want to see this scenery. Oh, hello. We're right. Okay, on the approach mode because the diamond's moving across. We're going to overshoot the final approach course a little bit, but that doesn't matter because we can go back, and it's more important to look at the pretty things outside than constantly worry about flying the plane.
All Nippon 742 turn right heading 341 descend and maintain 1,500 feet.
Heading 341 descend and maintain 1,500 feet. All Nippon 742.
I'm not going to descend and maintain 1,500 feet. That's daft. I'm sure she'll be very grateful in the end, Flightzilla. Oh, thank you, Moss's girlfriend. Or fiance, rather. Right, flaps 2 and gear down.
Speed checked.
All Nippon 742
Flaps
QNH
2.
is 1008 at Tokyo
Gear
Haneda
down.
International.
Gear down.
And for some reason, the aeroplane wants to accelerate massively. I don't know what's going on. Right, we have runway. We have a thing. Don't know what that is. Quite interesting. I'll Google it later. We're going way too fast, so we're going to have to intervene in the speed again.
All Nippon 742 winds are 007 at 13 knots, cleared to land runway 34 right.
Cleared to land runway 34 right. All Nippon 742.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Jess, I assume you are Moss's fiance. Thanks ever so much for the subscription. Don't feel obliged to come and watch
Flaps
the channel.
full.
Speed checked.
Just to make up the numbers, but
Flaps
I hope
full.
you will become as passionate about this sim and
Cabin
about
crew,
watching me
be
fly it
seated for landing.
as Mossy is.
Checked. Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Low.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Okay, so I'll turn the autopilot off now, and we'll see how we do.
Continue.
100. 60. 40. 30.
No reverse, engine 1 and 2. Decel.
I did one idle reverse.
Okay. 70 knots.
Manual braking. Yeah, it wasn't the stream, it was the whole sim just froze for a minute. That's what happened there. Oh, what are you... Has the stream started again now? No, has the whole thing stopped? No, let me check this. I don't know if I don't know if you can even hear me. Oh, hold on. Let me stop the aircraft and. Wait.
Until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely.
Has it stopped?
Indication that it is safe to move around the cabin, gather your belongings, and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and we hope to see you once again on a future flight. Thank you.
Oh, you can hear me. Can you see the stream? Oh, it froze for a minute, but it's back now. Oh, no, bad timing. Bad timing. So you're telling me you didn't see the landing at all? Well, I can tell you that it was absolutely buttery smooth. Probably the best landing you'll ever have experienced in your life. Right. Oh, I'm glad we're back. Anyway, you can watch me taxi to the gate at least. That's thrown me a little bit. Where was I with my checklist now? Oh, shame. It's alright, there'll be other opportunities. I'll be flying into Haneda more now we've got this Japan scenery, I'm sure. Yeah, it was jerky for me as well. It was jerky for me as well. Oh dear. Right, so where are we going now? We're taxiing to gate 66. And they haven't asked us to change frequency, which is a little bit odd. Al Nippon 742, request taxi to gate 66.
All Nippon 742, this is Tokyo approach on 119.65. Please repeat your request.
Yeah. Al Nippon 742, request frequency change to ground. No, that doesn't work. I'll try and do it manually. Tower approach. No, they don't seem to have a ground frequency in here. That's odd. Oh, yes, they do. Right, we'll tune that. Okay. I'm still quite new to this pilot to ATC thing, so I have to look up the phrases I need to say. But I'll get better at it. Right, request taxi to gate... Okay. Al Nippon 742, request taxi to gate 66.
All Nippon 742 taxi to gate 66 via taxiways Echo 8, India, Juliet 4.
Taxi to gate 66 via taxiways Echo 8, India, Juliet 4, All Nippon 742.
Okay, so I'll just get my taxi chart up. Try and follow their directions. So we're going to go via Echo 8, India. Can't see India. There's Echo 9, 10, Echo 8. India. No, this is not making interesting viewing, is it? I will just go to where I think the gate is and park, I think. I'll just find the parking spot. Oh, yeah. It's easy when you look at that map. Just turn left. Right, we'll run the after landing checklist.
After landing checklist.
Taxi.
Flaps.
Yeah, so this is one of the hand-built
Retracted.
airports from the default version of the sim.
Disarmed.
APU.
Start.
Radar.
I don't know if they've improved it with this update or what, but yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? Another EasyJet long-haul flight there.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
So I think, John, regardless of which nav data you have installed, it gives you the real-world taxiways. So you can update it with its own Navigraph data in the same way as you could update the FMCs in earlier sims. Because I haven't got the Navigraph data installed at the moment, but it's still giving me accurate taxi instructions. And it does that where the default ATC wouldn't as well, so it must be real-world data. Okay, Captain Flywire, it's really nice to have you here. I'm sorry you couldn't see the landing properly. That's a real shame. But yeah, thanks for your subscription again, and I hope to see you soon. So we want to make a right here, and 66 is on that far corner over there. Well, we got down, the displays didn't go blank, the landing was, well, it was alright considering the whole thing froze. Pretty good flight, I really enjoyed it actually. I was quite anxious about everything falling apart with this, with the new bugs they've introduced, and I thought I'd have to keep my cool and not swear and be nice so that I don't put any viewers off, and it never came to it. Very straightforward flight. I think we might do the return leg even tomorrow, perhaps. Oh no, tomorrow we're doing Edinburgh to Heathrow, if I can squeeze it in. Yeah, you see, I think you saw what I saw. I don't think it was the stream that went wrong. I think it was the actual sim. It did just freeze for a few seconds. Oh really? Has that been released? Well, it must have been released since I started flying. I'll take that for a test run in the morning and see how it does. Yes, yeah, I'd forgotten. Yeah, this was for both you. It was for you as well, wasn't it, Lorenzo? Yeah, night flight from Edinburgh to Heathrow. I don't know what time. Probably early afternoon, but it might be sort of 9 p.m, half 8, 9 p.m, something like that. I'll schedule it on YouTube anyway once I've worked my stuff out. Yeah, I'm getting a bit obsessive with it, Mossy. Because I work shifts, there are long periods when I can't stream at all, and then if I haven't got anything else on when I'm not working, I tend to just really go for it at the moment. Oh yeah, that's true. If the audio dropped out, then yeah, it can't just have been the sim. In fact, maybe it was a glitch in the streaming software that was causing the sim to stutter. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just hope it doesn't happen again. Oh, Miss Strabe's still on. Naughty, naughty. So this is gate 66. Being in a Sabo airport, of course, there's no way of knowing that if you don't have the chart, but take my word for it. And we've got a van parked right in our way. If only it was a follow me car. I think it's just a random vehicle that's decided to park here. Everyone just close your eyes a sec. I work for the railway. I'm an incident response manager for the railway, Science Guy. Thanks, Mbek Bomb. Thank you for joining me, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Right, parking brakes set. APU bleed on, anti-ice off. Beacon off, engines off. Parking checklist.
Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
I would love to visit Saudi Arabia.
Engines.
In the sim.
Off.
At the same time, I'm not a fan of default
Exterior
airports.
lights.
So I'm hoping someone releases a decent airport scenery, and then I'll definitely fly to Saudi. Yeah.
Set.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking brake and chocks.
On and in.
Parking checklist complete.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Tokyo Haneda, one of Asobo's original handcrafted airports. And obviously now pride of place in the Japan add-on. Well, I think we'll call it a day there. And as I say, at some point tomorrow I'll be doing a night flight from Edinburgh to Heathrow. But there's certainly a lot more to explore in Japan, so we'll be back here before long, I'm sure. Thank you all for joining me. And I hope to see you again soon on Philbert Flies. Enjoy the rest of your day.